Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, and I've actually got you set on the wrong mic. After all that, we'll take a deep breath here. We've been working through a rainstorm, getting things set up, and it's one of those last-minute clicks of the button where you go, oh my gosh, it didn't ask me which mic.
You can't change the mic
You
now.
can't change the mic now. After all that, can you imagine that? We worked quite hard to get this set up. So, but we're here. We're good. We've got internet. Woohoo! How does it get any better than this? I will lean into things as if I have the right mic set up. Not much you can do about that. Testing. Nope, that doesn't do it. Trying to see how I can make it louder for people. Really, I've just got to get in close. I've got to get in close and personal. I don't know how we do that. I will just lean in tonight. How's that? And we'll talk nice and intimate. So can everybody see me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? We are in our RV in between large thunderstorms. People are hearing me great. I sound great. Everything's great. Excellent. We're in between large thunderstorms here in New Jersey. It has been a beautiful day. We are going to talk about all things Hermeticism, as above, so below. Really, really cool stuff. We're going to talk with you about the occult really just means secret. So we're going to talk about the occult of ancient Egypt. We're going to talk about the occult of ancient Greece. We're going to talk about lessons from Hermes and Hermeticism. And we're going to bring it all home today with a meditation to help you begin to process and understand and get in resonance or frequency with as above, so below. I'm also going to tell you about our class that starts this Wednesday, 4 weeks, where we're going to be diving into, I have the book out here, diving into the Kybalion, which is a book that looks at the esoteric secrets of ancient Egypt and ancient Greece and some magnificent manifestation techniques. So what I do is I channel from all of the greats. And in this case, I'll be channeling called the Three Initiates. It's actually William Walker Atkinson that I'm going to be channeling on this amazing topic. And Allie, our team member, she's going to be putting a link in the chat room for you there as well. All right, let's back up. Jessica and I went paddling today on our kayak. And I can ask Jessica, I'm not going to need her to respond, but Jessica, did you have fun out there?
Woo-hoo.
There you go. She said, woohoo! We had a blast. But part of the coolest thing, both paddling today and paddling a couple days ago, which we're really enjoying in New Jersey. We're not too far from New York City, but it is pristine magic, silent out on the water. What's most interesting is the reflection on the water, particularly as you get close to the shore, close to the trees, or a couple days ago, close to an island. If the wind isn't blowing strong, you see the water, the land, tree roots, trees, giant, magnificent trees, hundreds of feet up above. And then you look down and you see the water, land, roots, trees, giant trees up above, and you cannot tell the difference between the reflection below and the reflection above. And I use that word reflection above for an important reason, as my cat Lumiere is demonstrating by singing to us at this time. We get confused. We get confused here in this Earth School, and we are playing with the wrong reflection. What does that mean? It means we are trying to manifest by working in the water below. You cannot build anything solid in a reflection. And this world here is simply a mirror pool of what's going on up above. That's really the study of Hermeticism. Begins, has a middle, and has an end, all with as above, so below. What does that really mean? As above, so below. And we're going to dive into some other techniques here from Hermes of ancient Egypt. It's actually interesting. The secrets of Hermes. What are the secrets of Hermes? It's called Hermeticism. Yeah, what's so interesting about that? Well, if you've ever sealed something, you've heard and taken all the air out of it, then you've heard the term to be hermetically sealed. Hermetically sealed means a secret kept so tightly that air doesn't come out. That's the secrets from ancient Egypt as taught to us by Hermes. As above, so below means that if we are working down on this world, that's why we're not succeeding. If you've watched any of the Olympics, I find something that's really cool. We're going through this time period, you can say age of Aquarius, you can say a transition going from a lower octave, a lower vibrational level to a higher vibrational level. It is a changing of the guard on all levels. Greats across the board haven't made it through. They're not doing anything wrong. But what's happening is those who have let go of thought, have let go of the driving and striving, like the 100-meter champion out of Italy right now, or the pole vault champion, co-champion out of Italy as well, and many other greats. The women's gymnastics, women's gymnasts from America who have stepped up when Simone had to step to the side because her body and mind are out of sync right now. She's going through such a huge healing process. But with that said, those who aren't trying to play the game on this plane, they've trained their butts off. Make no mistake about it. But they've let go on this plane, are rising to a higher octave. And that's what's helping them succeed. What does this mean? It means that if you want to succeed at work, don't try hard at work. If you want to get a better job, don't try hard to get a better job. If you want a new relationship, don't try hard to have a new relationship. Michael, are you saying give up? Are you saying just surrender? Well, actually, it's kind of a cool word choice, to surrender. Because to surrender is to get into flow. And that's actually one of the principles of Hermeticism. So yes, in that sense, we do want to surrender. But what I'm saying is don't do the work first and foremost down here. We are doing things backwards. To get a great job, don't seek the job. To get a promotion, don't work hard for the promotion. To get the relationship, don't seek the relationship online or try to find a date. Instead, do the work on the other side of the veil. Do the work in meditation. Do the work in the space capsule, which I teach about in these Wednesday evening classes. Do the work in your automatic writing. Do the work going to a forest. And as you're walking, holding this state of it already being here. Do the work by putting it out there as a request to your angels and guides any time of the day. I've written Awe, the Automatic Writing Experience, the #1 Angels and Spirit Guides book on Amazon. It goes up and down, but woohoo, how does it get any better than this? Or do the work before you go to sleep, putting it out there in the hypnagogic state. The half here, half not here state, where everything is created. But what you do not want to do at this time, it worked in the industrial age. It worked 10, 20 years ago. It may have worked for you up till last week. Do not work harder, because this is a time of energy. It's always been an energetic time, but now it is so crystalline clear. What's this mean? It means what you resist persists. If you fight hard for your medal, you're gonna get a fight. If you fight hard for your job, ain't gonna get the job. If you fight hard for anything, that's why this is craziness. A war against COVID, a war for peace, a war for this, a war against smoking or drugs, or a war on anything. How about a make love to all of it? How about a big hug to all of it? How about a relax in and play with it and imagine on the other side of the veil, which is so cool. If you've heard the term on the other side of the veil, it actually comes from Hermeticism. It meant to peel back the veil of the goddess Isis and to be able to see her for who she is. To peel back the veil of the goddess Isis and see her for who she actually is. Who is the goddess Isis? She is you. You have the power within. You have the power to create. You have the power to have your own gold medal in life and beyond. You've got it. You've got it going on. Or as I like to say, and it's a line that I always give credit to Dane here, although I stole it permanently, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? You are the creator. But stop trying to create down here. Get your hammer out. Get a nail out. Go to a pond. Go to a lake. Put the nail in the lake. Put the hammer on it. Nothing happening. Do the same thing in the heavens, and you will create castles in the sky. And yes, to steal the line, that is truly where they belong. So when I look at my life, and I look at the life of Jessica, life partner, also call her Pookie Pook Star, she is the greatest. When we try to build down on this plane, and we often trip and fall and come back to earth, which is come back to the reflection. We get as confused as anybody else. When we try to create on this side or on this mirror, we experience pain. We experience heartache. We experience hard work. Again, we trip and fall and get stuck there ourselves. What does it mean to be stuck in this mirror pond? It means to forget who and what we truly are. The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks, they weren't saying, this is a god, bow down to him. This is a goddess, bow to her. They were saying that all of these stories, all of these myths, every single one that you see is a reflection of an element of yourself. Hermes later became the god Thoth. You are Thoth. You are Ra. You are Isis. You are Hercules. You are Athena. You are everyone and everything. Once you stop playing with this pond that is hard, swimming is a lot harder than running, isn't it? Certainly a lot harder than cycling. That fluid is heavy. When you feel yourself experiencing a heaviness, something's off track. Oh my God, something's off track. What do? What you do is take your foot out of the water. I'm being challenged. I teach, here's the book. I teach AWE, the automatic writing experience. And I go into AWE, automatic writing, every single day, usually multiple times a day. You know what I'm getting from the guides in AWE? And yeah, this is a way you can tap into the guides. Do you know what I'm getting from the guides of AWE? They're saying, Michael, it's not enough And I have to live up to this challenge. They're saying, we need you to go into automatic writing. You go in every morning. If there's a class, you go in. If there's something like this, you go in. They're saying, we need you to go in now at least 3 times a day. Why? Because going into automatic writing is opening the door to the other side of the veil. That's where the game gets to be played. So when I feel my own stuckness, when I feel my own heaviness, the way out is within. As above, so below. As without, so within. Or as within, so without. What does it mean? It means we get to go quiet. Sorry, I can't let you off the hook with this one. I know there are so many of you out there who go, I'll listen to show after show after show after show after show. Just don't ask me to meditate. I had on Emily Fletcher on the show earlier this week. It'll be coming out on Tuesday. No, it'll be coming out in 2 weeks. Oh. We've got did Stephen Greer come out? Jessica, did Stephen Greer come out yet? What's that?
This Tuesday.
This Tuesday, Stephen came out. And who's next? We've got Stephen Greer coming this Tuesday. How does it get any better than this? Then we've got Paul Selig, and then we've got Emily Fletcher. Flip that. Stephen Greer, Emily Fletcher, Paul Selig. So Emily Fletcher, we were talking about the importance of putting space in your mind. It's a beautiful interview. It'll be in 10 days' time on stress less, manifest more. When you put more space in your mind, you're able to see. This is a term I brought up in the interview as well, and I've never used this term before, and it just popped up into consciousness. You'll be able to see your tomfoolery. What in the world? You'll be able to see what's real and what's not when you take a little time each day to meditate. All of the ancients did it. All of the ancients, they had rooms built into their pyramids. Talk about an investment specifically to go quiet, dive under the water, which is to dive out of the water. Every day, just take 10 minutes. Am I going to beg you? Yeah, I'll beg you. Take 10 minutes. Greatest investment you can do for you. And just be with you. Sit in a chair. Kick back. Lay down. Of course, if you fall asleep, that's napitation. That's a different thing. But be there. There are all sorts of fancy techniques. I don't recommend headspace, mind space, all of these different things that guide you through. I want you to be with you. Automatic writing, we teach you how to do a 10-count meditation. What's a 10-count meditation? I'll teach you it right here, right now. You don't have to get all to learn the 10-count meditation. Very simple. Here you go. Sit up nice and relaxed. Breathe in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. That's one. In through the nose, down to the belly, and out. 2. In through the nose. Oh, he's going to count all the way to 10. Oh, wait, lost my train of thought. And out through the nose. Back to 1. Breathe in through the nose. Oh, I get it now. With each breath, he's going to, oh, wait, lost my train of thought. And out through the nose. 1. In other words, for 10 minutes, just count how many breaths you go without getting lost in a thought. Does 2 really, really cool things. First off, it trains you to bring your mind back to center. And where is center? You guessed it. It's not down in the reflection. It's up here. You are spirit inside of spirit. You are energy having an energetic experience in human form. In human form, which means this is a very small part of you. You're always on the other side of the veil. And so bringing you back to center is connecting you to the higher self you've never been anything other than. Yeah, but I've lost my connection to spirit. I've lost my, you couldn't lose your connection. It's just not possible. Your energy, therefore your spirit. You can't be lost. You can't be disconnected. You can't unplug yourself, no matter how much you try. What you can do, though, is Shazam, block yourself pretty good. The best way to block yourself is to get going with the monkey mind. And what does the monkey mind do? The backstroke. In the reflection pond, saying this pond is real. When you start meditating, when you do the 10 count, you go, oh, wait, started swimming in the pond. Bring it back to what's real. Oh, well, caught myself in the pond again. Bring myself back to what is real. And the more that you do it, the better you get at it. So you can bring it back faster and bring it back faster. And this is where the game gets really cool. Because what we're talking about here and what the ancients were hoping you would remember in each moment. It's why there are these giant, colossal statues, sculptures. Okay, they do other things. There's probably electricity involved. There's probably lots of cool stuff. But one thing they did is they were larger than life reminders of who and what we are, who and where we came from, what and where we came from, and what's most important. And what's most important is to bring it back to here, which is to bring it back to here and get our minds out of the reflective pool. And so the first benefit of doing the 10 count is to bring your mind back and remember who you are. Second is that you stop whirling the mind. If you think of the mind as rowing machine. You ever been on a rowing machine? My father-in-law has the most amazing rowing machine. I think it's called the Captain. I like that, the Captain. And the Captain has a bowl of water with a propeller in it. And when you pull on the rowing machine, the water swishes around and then stops, and then swishes around and then stops. It's really cool. Most rowing machines have a fan that starts going and then stops, a fan that gets going and then stops with each pull. Our minds work the same way. With each thought, you're pulling on the oar, the brain gets spinning, and then you pause. You pull on it again, the brain starts spinning some more, and then maybe it slows down. You pull on it again, and it starts going faster and faster and faster. At this point, what's the expression? I'm trying to think from Simone from the Olympics. The expression for being off balance, the twists, I believe it is. The twisties. Thank you. You get the twisties. You can't tell up from down. You can't tell right from left. You're lost. And now you're going to try to make big decisions in life. And now you're going to try to navigate this world while you got the twisties. Thank you, Bookstar. You can't do it. It's going to hurt. Why do you have the twisties? Because a thought has been going, and then another thought's been going, and then another thought, and then another thought, and another thought. There's a reason. You can go into the Temple of Isis, for example, and you get all of these reminders in there, both from hieroglyphs, but also from feeling sensation. You feel intuitively. Heck, have you been to the Grand Canyon? Have been to the Smithsonian? There are things that just stop you in your tracks and remind you who you are and where you came from. That's what going to Egypt represents. That's what going to Greece or Athens or any of these great places and looking at the work of the ancients are us, is reminding you that you are not your thoughts. That's the reflective pool. And the more that we remember that and we let go of the oars, the fan has a chance to slow down and stop. I want you to practice this with me for a moment. I'm really good at putting myself wherever I want in time and space. And what I'd like you to do is just focus on the breath for a second. Slow it down, but breathe in and out. In and out. As you continue to breathe in and out, I want you to imagine that you're in the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of largest pyramids, at least known pyramids here on Earth. And I want you to go to a secret inner chamber buried deep in the heart of the pyramid. You go through a dark tunnel to get there. There's a little illumination to help you get there. You get into the center of this pyramid in this giant hall. It's complete blackness. It's complete silence, but don't worry, you are safe. And I want you to sit down for a minute. Magically, a cushion has appeared. And as you continue to breathe in and out, and if you're scared of the dark, then we'll bring in some candles for you, whatever feels good to you. I want you to feel totally relaxed and safe. But as you breathe in and out, take in the magnificent stillness. Take in the magnificent silence. Can you feel the power radiating through the walls? Can you feel the power radiating through the room? Can you feel the power radiating through the palms of your hands or even your fingertips? You might even feel them sweaty or tingling. And can you feel the power in this incredible silence? This is the power you have within you. It is the power of the Creator, which is the energy that is you and is everything, not a bearded white guy up in the sky. Come on, guys, 2021. You are the Creator. You are a part of the Creator. And this power pulsates through your beingness. And you can latch on to this power when you don't go after the next thought and the next thought and the next thought and keep pulling on the oars and pulling on the oars, making yourself spin more and more and more. Instead, picture yourself on the water next to an amazing lush green island. And you've been pulling on the oars and pulling on the oars. And now you just put them down. And you glide for a precious minute. Jessica and I, earlier today, were out on this lake. And we experienced so many cool things. A hawk circling and diving right in front of Jessica. Birds sitting on stoops right in front of us. A family of, not geese, swan, with Papa Swan sitting right in front of us. Jessica's dad thought these things looked so amazing that they couldn't even possibly be real. Of course, they were honking straight at us. We're going, that looks like Roo. Roo's our rooster. He's sleeping right now. And the most magnificent was at one point we stopped paddling, glided almost up to the shore, and heard a rustling. And then a little bit more rustle. And we're going, what in the world is that? I'm like half expecting to see a bear or something. Took a few minutes. Then Papa Bambi appeared. Got 4 horns, deer. Horns are small. He's a new proud father. Looked at us, turned in our direction, slurped up some water. Told the kiddos it's okay. And the little Bambis come out to play in the water right in front of us. How does it get any better than this? And then they eventually all went merrily on their way. Yes, we've got photos. We got to post these. We got to make some more videos. Got a button if you want to join the behind the scenes program that we have here at the Inner Circle. And we post lots of videos of this sort of stuff. And we'll have to post some videos there as well. That magical experience came about because we stopped paddling. And that is such a secret of the ancients, is to put the paddles down. Your greatest creations come. And I'm not talking about a spiritual bypass where you kick back on the couch and go, I don't have to do anything. The 2-step dance, we paddled ourselves out there, and then we stopped paddling. And then we paddled ourselves to the next adventure, and then we stopped paddling. But we never forced it. And the greatest magic comes when you recognize the difference between fight and flow. And that's what we're talking about here this evening. The difference between fight and flow. The difference between creating in a reflective pool and creating in the castle in the sky. Creating in the kiln in the sky. Creating on the palette where it belongs, up above. So now I want to briefly go through 7 key tenets that I'm going to be teaching over the next month. Tenets of the ancients. I might go through kind of quickly. I want to see how it flows and feels. And then I'm going to open it up to questions. And Allie, please let Jessica know how long you're comfortable going as well, because I know we started late and I really want to respect your bedtime. All right. Number one, and this is the master key of manifestation. Master key, meaning above and beyond all else. This has been taught from the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks, from Hermes himself, who became the god Thoth. The principle of mentalism. What, you're mental? Okay, I guess I am a little bit. No, everything is mind. Everything is created by the mind. What does that mean? Well, we've got Paul Selig coming up in a few weeks, and it's very interesting because he said we have made a collective agreement to bring this world into reality, and we will get a different world when we have a different collective agreement. So individually, you have claimed or agreed to the life that you have until you agree to a new one. As a group, we have agreed to this crazy flipped upside down world until we agree to a new one. Spoiler alert. Dr. Stephen Greer will talk about it on Tuesday evening. Paul Selig talks about it in 2 weeks. We have agreed to a new reality. It's really cool. It's why stuff is going down right now. The old systems are falling apart because we are the rocket ship. You ever seen a rocket ship take off? It's pretty freaking violent. There's like hoses coming off and water and ice going down and explosions and fire and almost like brimstone coming out of this thing. Shakes and then it goes up. What's it feel like now? Water coming out, ice coming down, fire and brimstone, super violent. When you step the aperture far enough back, you realize none of this is as it appears to be. To an ant viewing the rocket ship taking off, it's the end of the world. To a human too close, it's the end of the world as well. To somebody at 10 miles or 20 miles out, they're like, wow, it's man going into space. It's man going to the moon. Could be. How does it get any better than this? And I'd say it gets any better than this when we learn how to warp gravity and stop playing around with fossil fuels. Story for another day. But with that said, Tesla had that down over 100 years ago. With that said, perspective changes how we view this. And right now, we have collectively agreed to something new. And so the old is falling away. So everything is mind. The universe is created by mind. But it goes a step beyond that, which is why it's the master key. It is that you are spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything comes from spirit. And we can get anything from spirit too when we realize that we are spirit. Everything is mind means that you are the creator, or I'm going to say co-creator. And that's important because there's something Paul Selig and I were talking about, and his guides are my guides as well, different names, but they're coming through in automatic writing, loud and clear. It is a time of manifestation, certainly, where you can manifest more than ever before because the tools are more available to us, and that veil of Isis is thinner than ever. However, we're being charged with going to the upper room, seeking a higher state of being, seeking a higher state of resonance, and co-creating with the universe from there. It's weird. Being in northern New Jersey, there are a lot of CEO millionaires and billionaires that come from New York City that live just outside of the city. And so you'll see every weekend, we saw them earlier today, your parade of Ferraris or unknownies, carbon fiber beasties that you're not even sure exactly what that is. I think it was a McLaren, actually. earlier today, now that I think about it, carbon fiber blue thing, a McLaren. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. $1 million cars. In the old days, I used to go, oh my God, $1 million car. It's so cool. I want one of those things. The frequency's changed. My vibration has changed. I can see the artwork in it, but I can also see that, to me, that's not vibrating for me, not judgment, in the upper room. I want the most eco of eco things. But beyond that, it's not about the car. Heck, if somebody gave me a McLaren, I'd probably be happier than a kid in a candy store for a little bit. Oh, it'd be so cool. Ferrari, so cool. But we are being challenged to co-create with the universe at an even higher level. That's going to the upper room. And that means that our creative juices are best served not just on what can I have for me, but what can I have for the we. That's what I'm enjoying so much about the Olympics. For all of her challenges, all of her politicism, all of her greed, all of her, I won't even get started on the guys at the top of the thing. Look at some of the most amazing cooperative measures going on there. That is coming to an agreement at a higher level. So first is the master key of manifestation at the principle of mentalism. Second principle, this is what we've been talking about all tonight, so I'll be real short on this, is the principle of conversation. Communicating with the other side to get what you want. It's what I talk about almost weekly as a YouTube Live, is how to communicate with the angels. In other words, how to communicate with the goddess Isis on the other side of the veil. So incredibly important. As above, so below means don't put your request down into the water. Put your request here. That was on the automatic writing experience. If I move too fast, put your request here, or put your request here, or put your request here, or put your request here. As above, so below. That's the principle of conversation. And when we do these Wednesday evening master classes, master classes, what we're going to be doing is diving into one or two of these principles each week and giving you the skills and tools to bring them about in your life so that you become an ancient wisdom ninja. Pure. You become an ancient wisdom ninja. And Allie will be putting that link down below. $1 to try for these classes. Every Wednesday night we have them. And this month will be on becoming an ancient wisdom ninja. Who knew I'd be calling it that? But we'll dive into the principle of mentalism, to the principle of conversation. And we'll dive into the next principle as well, which I've actually alluded to here. Actually, I think I downright said it. The principle of vibration, which is everything is in motion. Everything is vibrating. Nothing is at rest. The Egyptians talked about this 5,000 years ago. Everything is in motion. This is way before the study of atoms. Everything is vibrating. Nothing is at rest. So, what does this mean? It means that if you want more or different than what you currently it is simply about changing the level of your vibration. Raise your frequency to that upper room, to the kingdom, as Paul's guides call it, to a higher level of vibration, and you will have a higher level existence. It's not rocket science. It takes practice. It can also give you some skills or tools to help you with it. But when you elevate yourself, when you become a warrior of vibration, no, not fighting against anything, but continuously choosing the higher vibration thought, choosing the higher vibration door, choosing the higher vibration path, And you can't tell what's the higher vibration or not. The lower vibration feels like your foot's in the mud, because it is. The higher vibration might not feel easy. I think Jessica needed me to go out in the rain and get something earlier today, and certainly a couple of days ago, she needed me to go out. Actually, I think she videotaped me for the inner circle, running and dancing in the rain. What? I don't want to go dance and singing in the rain. Singing in the rain. We now have video, sing in the rain. Once I got out there, it had a glorious feeling. What does that mean? It means that higher vibration thought might not feel easy to do, but it feels so right. That's the principle of vibration in a nutshell. And vibration unlocks everything. Why? Because there's a vibration to the $1 million you want. There's a vibration to the partner you want. There's a vibration to the peace that you want. There is a vibration to all of it. All of it has its own unique vibration. Every single piece of it. So, your job is to get in vibration with what you desire, and it will be yours. It unlocks a door that's already there. It's written in the hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt. Just look at the all-seeing eye. What you look at and get in vibration with through spirit, through this energy that is all there is. Grab a dollar bill. Look at the top of it. You'll see a pyramid that's incomplete, representing the physicality of man can only get you so far. A floating top represented by an all-seeing eye, meaning what you get in frequency, in vibration with, at the higher level, will be yours. It's on every single freaking dollar bill. It's a technical term, along with Latin that says the same thing, that it's all about spirit. All right. We've got 3, 4 more of these. And let's dive into some Q&As. The number 4, and don't worry, we dive deep into these each week over the next month to help you get a toolbox, so you can pull out these tools from ancient Egypt and Greece, which are more powerful now than ever because the veil is so thin, and you will become a ninja of this. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? It's only $1. That's how. Okay. 4, the principle of polarity. So, all right. Let's talk about this. What does this mean? I love the principle of polarity. It's the easiest and hardest, maybe most difficult, most challenging one to figure out. What it means is there is polarity and there is no polarity. And it means it's much easier to do ancient alchemy than you ever imagined. To take something, well, we're talking about turning lead into gold, but turn a negative emotion into a positive emotion, because the polar ends of the spectrum are the same. What does that mean? At the fastest vibration and the slowest vibration, there is no perceived difference. At the fastest vibration, if something is vibrating so incredibly fast, it doesn't look like it's moving at all. The ancient Egyptians knew this. At the slowest vibration, it didn't look like anything is vibrating at all. The ancient Egyptians knew this too. Good example of this is take a wheel. Take a wheel and spin it as fast as you can, or watch it going down the highway. it will look like it's not moving. Take a wheel and stomp it cold, it also looks like it's not moving. What does this mean? Everything has two poles. Everything has an opposite to it. There's hot, there's cold, there's light, there's dark, there's love, there's hate, all appearing to be diametric opposites, in opposition, not the same. However, can you tell me, if we look at a thermometer, where is hot on the thermometer and where is cold? Can you go out in the daytime or the nighttime and stay out all night long, for instance, and tell me when it is dark and when it is light, and give me an exact moment between the two? Exact moment between hot and cold, exact moment between light and dark. Can you tell me an exact moment along the spectrum between love and hate? You can't, because it's all degrees. And this can shift. Love and hate is the easiest way to see spiritual alchemy at work, because you can love your partner one minute and you can hate him the next. Well, please don't. Love them, love them, love them. But then you can hate somebody, and the next thing you know, they're the greatest person in the world. It's alchemy. It means there is no difference. Everything is along a degree. And when you fully understand this, you stop labeling something as good and bad. You start labeling something as right or left. You stop labeling something as red and blue, or this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. And you realize they are the thing. And the thing is not just open to interpretation, but it can be bent. It can be it's very malleable. It can be made into what you desire. It is an energy. When you get that it's an energy, and if you look at any of the hieroglyphs of the Egyptians, you see that at the end of the day, they are playing with energy. Everything they do is alchemy. That's what we're talking about. And so the principle of polarity is, how can I take that very thing that is dark and flip it into the light? Last thought on this one. Every magnet has a negative and a positive to it, because every magnet put next to another magnet can either attract or repel. Can you tell me where one pole starts and the other ends? They are the same magnet. It's the same magnet. It has a positive, it has a negative, but it's the same magnet, which means that when you understand this and you understand mentalism, it means when you say, I have nothing, the opposite side of that is I have everything, and it is the same thing. It is all shifting that state. And you can do that. All right. Got a couple more. Principle of rhythm. I've got rhythm. You've got rhythm. No, that's not actually what I mean. What I mean is, who could ask for anything more? Everything flows in and flows out, and flows in and flows out, and flows in and flows out, which means, and I think Mitch Horowitz, who we just recently had on the show as well, we had him on this past week. Oh my God, how does it get any better than this? Can't recommend him watch that enough, or any of his work. Mitch Horowitz is amazing. There's an expression, it's always darkest before the dawn. One way to look at that, viewed from a Hermetic lens, or viewed from a lens of the magic of ancient Egypt, is that if we understand that there's a natural flow to things, then that darkest point is right before everything is going to shift back up. So darkness is at the bottom, coming back into the light. Going back down, darkness at the bottom, coming back into the light. If you understand this, then you can actually surf these waves rather than be crushed by them. First off, you gain awareness. It's really dark right now, and this is what Mitch is talking about. Woohoo! Light is on its way. the Christmas, Hanukkah, all of these pagan traditions had light for the darkest days of the year, but it was also at solstice. It was also a time of reverence and revelry, because there was a celebration of the darkness, of diving in, knowing that we are rounding the corner into the light. That knowingness changes everything. It completely empowers you in your darkest days. So right now, let's get real. Wow. Ugh. A lot of people are going to be really struggling to hold on to their homes in this country this week. And I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. And I'm not making light of this, it will feel to many like all hope is lost when the principle of rhythm is all hope is found. That coming out of this trough, you are going to be on a magical trajectory up. What helps is to understand this, because it puts you in a lighter state. It puts you back at that higher vibrational state. And the higher vibrational state you're at, the higher you will launch. So it helps you make it through this time. It helps launch you higher. And it allows you the freedom. I'm thinking of rock climbers, and for some reason I'm thinking of rock climbers on Yosemite, or in Yosemite. It allows you to link up with a higher state and hold on to it when you go down, and then link up to a higher state and hold on to it when you go down, and link up to a higher state and hold on to it when you go down, through the idea of understanding the principle of rhythm and understanding how to anchor in. This is a huge part of what's called Hermetic mental alchemy, is learning how to anchor in, so that when you go down, you're holding on at the top. When you're at the bottom, you're allowing yourself to swing up as easily as you can, because you've anchored in up here. It helps take the drama out of life. That's huge, to bring you peace even during these times, and help you use this energy of a pendulum swinging. Instead of you being swung side to side, it's you hooking up higher, relaxing into it, you hooking up even higher, relaxing into it, and hooking up higher and higher still. Last couple here. And again, we'll dive into detail with these on our Wednesday Mastery Circle. So come join us for this. $1 to try every Wednesday evening, 8:30 Eastern Pacific, 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time, 5:30 Pacific, $1 to try each Wednesday evening. We'll be diving in deep to one of these topics with hundreds of your fellow homies. And it's a really cool group. It's much more like group coaching, where everybody gets to share and talk and see how you're doing. And you get a whole bunch of friends, kind of like Cheers, as we learn these cool techniques. Life-changing. All right. On that note, principle and law of cause and effect. This is perhaps my favorite. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens according to this law. Nothing is by accident. No thing. This doesn't mean we get the law of attraction wrong and then we pick on ourselves. Something goes wrong, we go, well, there's a law of cause and effect. Clearly I did something wrong. Clearly it's bad karma. Clearly it's this. Clearly it's that. Clearly it's no, you're an awesome person. Don't pick on yourself. But what it does mean is that everything happens for a reason, without exception. Now, you may not know the reason in this time period or in this lifeline. And the Egyptians are clear on your path to the other side. And you come back and you learn and grow, and you come back and you learn and grow. It ain't all just about now. But everything does happen for your highest good and the highest good of all. 2, shift the cause and effect. The Kybalion, which is the book that discusses these techniques. the Kybalion here, to shift the law of cause and effect, or as they call it, to go from becoming a causer to an effector, is about shifting your vibration. When you stay at the lowest level vibration or the lower levels, you get yanked around every which way by cause and effect. Why? Because universe is trying to help you get to a higher level, and will keep on whack, 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 whack until you raise your vibration. Or, as a really twisted joke goes that I really used to like, I think I still do. It's awful. Please forgive me. The beatings will continue until morale improves. The beatings will continue. I can't believe I'm saying that. This until morale improves. Meaning, once you choose to vibrate at a higher level, you go from a causer to an effector. You go from somebody that's pulled around by the universe or by spirit, helping to get your awareness and your attention, to somebody who is back in that creative process. Masters rise to the panes above. They dominate their moods, their characters, their qualities, their powers, as well as their environment, and they become movers rather than pawns by choosing to vibrate at that higher level. They play the game of life rather than be played by it. That's using the law of cause and effect to become an amazing player in this game of life, which brings to the last one that we're going to go into real briefly, and then let's dive into some questions here. And I see Lisa Loves Animals donated $5. Thank you, Lisa. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? The principle of gender. Within everything is a male and female level element. On the physical level, this is represented as sex, which is the ultimate creative act on the physical plane. There's whole studies on sexual alchemy, which is using sexual energy and using those experiences and using orgasm in order to create, by using it as a carrier wave to carry your wishes and desires to the other side of the veil. At a higher level than physicality, it is getting into higher states of creativity. When you understand how to work with the principles of gender, this doesn't mean if you're male, you have to become female. If you're female, you have to become male, or anywhere in between. Not that there's anything wrong with any of it. Whatever makes you happy. But when you learn how to play with these at an energetic level, my God, do doors open to your creative process. When you get in synchrony with the male and female, the divine masculine and divine feminine aspects of yourself. These are the key pieces we're going to be going over the next month. It's going to be really cool. Ali will put the link in there one more time for you to come and join us. $1 to try it out. Love to see you starting this Wednesday. Recorded if you can't make it. So don't worry if you can't make it. Don't worry at all. It's recorded. Don't worry if it's a different time of the day or you're on the other side of the planet. It's all good. If you can make it live, though, even better. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Again, $1 to try. All right. So let's go to some questions here. Melissa, why do some people get guides that are profound teachers and other of us get more simple guides? Melissa, our guides meet us where we're at. Pour le moment, which is French for the moment. What does that mean? It means that right now, this evening, I've got a very advanced guide that's helping me to teach here. And tomorrow morning, I may have more of a simpleton guide helping me figure out what to do through the day. Does it mean I'm more advanced tonight and less advanced in the morning? No. Does it mean that one person who has this guide at this particular moment is more advanced than another person who has this simple guide over here? No. is you tap into the guide you need. Now, you can tap into any guide. I can go right now and tap into the highest of highs, or I can tap into whomever. But the guy that's by your side the most right now, in this moment, pour the moment, is the guide that can help you most in this moment. You can ask for other guides. Give thanks to whomever is by your side. Edward Katie, how do you like the new studio? Well, this is cool, Edward. So Jessica, so because it's been raining and pouring outside, the old man is snoring. We came inside tonight, and I like this. I'm surprised. I like this, and this is good because this is an experiment. Because between you and me, Edward, this amazing RV, which is about 65 feet long when you count the truck, is not as optimal as we would like. And we're very flexible. And my guess is we're going to go more to a bus style. And you know your RVs well, Edward. We're going to go from a fifth wheel back to a Class A later this year, probably a tag axle, 44, 45 feet. Jessica is thinking that a long tube may actually serve us better. The very reasons that we got this one is the very things that we like about it the least. You don't pick on yourself for it. You go, you never know until you try. So we had 3 distinct rooms because we wanted 3 distinct rooms. It turns out that feels a little less spacious. And one of the rooms doesn't get used much at all. So we will probably switch to one long room, which is a lot easier to drive. And that's the biggest driving factor. And so because it was raining tonight, still is, we migrated inside and we're playing with this studio setup. So I'm interested how you like it, Edward, and how others like it. I actually feel really comfortable, kind of cozy in it. It's really fun, actually. Raven, how do you make up your mind about what you want? Raven, that is a profound and brilliant question. Oftentimes, Raven, it's not about making up our mind what we want, which is a funny way to put it, because mind is not mine. In this case, what you're asking, Raven, is how do I know what my heart wants? But it's about giving yourself permission. Now that's not always the case. I am often driven nuts by the smaller decisions. Bigger decisions, I got dialed. Smaller decisions can drive me nuts. Is it going to be A or B? Is it going to be, I don't know. I can't think of a good example right now, but Jessica can think of a million examples of asking me, do you want this one or this one? And I'm like, brain's not here right now. I tend to go to, in those moments, muscle testing. That is the best, easiest way that I can do it. In fact, last night we were at a restaurant and there were just so many choices that I just went through, and it was just muscle testing. Not that one, not that one. Yeah, that one would be good. No, that one, no, that one. And I just take my thinking mind out of the process. But ultimately, Raven, I get to challenge you to say, I'm guessing you do know what you want, and you haven't given yourself permission to go for it. Maybe there's a social reason. Maybe you've been trained not to want what you want, or you're not allowed to have what you want, or what you want has a taboo behind it. But Raven, you know what you want. You get to give yourself permission. And the last thought is to ask myself, either, just as we were talking about earlier this evening, does this feel light? Or does this feel heavy? Or what, and this comes right out of, so many different places, but it comes right out of A Course in Miracles. What would love choose? What would love do? Brilliant question, Raven. And keep those questions coming. And as soon as we're done with questions, or soon enough, we're going to dive into a meditation. Okay, Maura. Can you kindly repeat what you said about rhythm helping us? I forget the wording. It was amazing. Maura, to get the exact wording, because those things will not come out twice exactly the same way, I would go and listen to this afterwards and just back up to exactly the spot where I talked about the principle of rhythm. That would be the best thing that you can do. But in short, Rhythm is everything flows in and out. Everything flows up and down. When you realize that, then when you get the next time at the darkness, the dark night of the soul, or the darkness before the dawn, you will recognize it as such and understand that things are about to take off. And so what do? We recognize, we come up, we anchor in the goodness, anchor in the light, anchor in an incredible moment. We go back down, we keep our energetic state back up where it was. That means it's not feeling good, but I remember, I hold on. And then at the bottom, I'm aware of where I'm going. Instead of staying at that lower vibrational level, which makes it harder to come up, I remember where I've been and I come up like a swing on a swing set, and I will swing even higher the next time by remembering and remembering and remembering. In other words, going back to the principle of vibration, getting to that higher vibration, getting to that next higher vibration, and getting to that next higher vibration. Marie K. Orga, historical question. And I'm not seeing any more questions coming in, and that's surprising me. So I want to see if there are more questions come in. If not, we'll get to a meditation here shortly. Historical question. Do you think that Moses's covenant, having been adopted by the Pharaoh's wife, was actually the Hermetic when he left Egypt? That is above something that I am familiar with. With that said, going back to the law or principle of polarity and viewed from a cosmic lens, there was very little difference between Moses and the Pharaoh. Ooh, there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here. There's a whole class or series of classes that I can teach on this one. I'm thinking of the principle. I'm thinking of how Moses ended up with his people in the desert for 40 years and why they got stuck, quote unquote, stuck in the desert for 40 years, and what that meant and what mentalism has to do with it and where the minds were at that time and how the mind got lost and got focused on the golden calf and what happened to the people of Egypt and energetically the law of cause and effect and all of these different elements of Hermeticism that we're talking about unfolded in this one story of Exodus. So important to understand. Now, Moses was a magician. So was the Pharaoh. In fact, Moses was supposed to be the next Pharaoh. And so there is so much tied up into this story. And certainly they both would have known all of the same laws of Hermeticism. It's a brilliant, brilliant question. I think I want to dive into that one deeper. So thank you for asking. We'll see what more I come up with. And so I want to see, I'm going to ask Jessica a quick question here. Jessica, can you tell if Allie is still connected? Because no questions have come in since this first round of questions was put down here. And I'm not sure she's still connected. And I'm not sure there are no questions that have come in. If I go into the chat,
you can see some questions.
Yeah, so there are a bunch more questions that haven't shown up.
She signed off about 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so how do I get to the next question? Let's see here. I'm going to scroll through. Bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. Bear with me. If I haven't asked your question, please put it back in. And
Here's one from Pen Proper.
Okay, go for it.
What should I focus on in regard to being ready for having someone that will truly want and love me?
What? I'm going to write it down.
What should I focus on in regard to being ready for having someone that will truly want and love me?
What should I focus on in regard to being ready
for having someone that will truly want and love me?
Having someone will truly want and love me. And this is his name?
Pen proper.
Pen, you're already ready. You are absolutely ready to have somebody that will truly want and love you. You are already ready. I would encourage you to focus on the fact that I'm already ready. One of the challenges that we have in spiritualism and any of this game that we're playing, and we're all playing a game here on earth, and so I don't mean it in making light of this, is that we feel something needs to be fixed. We feel we're all fixer-uppers, that something is wrong with us, that we need to change. Now, certainly, consciousness is about expansion. Consciousness is about growth. Consciousness is about playing with your little kitty cat here and having the tail on your face on camera.
Oh, some people are asking for an animal cameo.
So how does it get any better than this? But we don't need to be fixed. None of us do. With that, there's nothing wrong with any of us. We are each energetic beings having an energetic experience in human form. With that said, what you can focus on is the feeling state of loving yourself up that will truly want and love you. The being in the state where you truly want and love yourself. And then you feel the state where somebody truly wants and loves you as well. Get in that feeling state and you help create it. That's where I want you to play. That's where your highest vibration level game gets to be played. Brilliant question.
Freda asks, why do I procrastinate?
What I hear is because you're not willing to ready to accept your greatness, Freda. There's a lot of work that gets to be done. When you accept who you truly are, when you accept your greatness, when you accept the divine creator inside of yourself, then you have to step up to the plate. When you procrastinate, you've got a reason that you can't step up to the plate. Well, I'm just a procrastinator. That's just how I am. That's just how things are. Freda, the next time it rains and you haven't gotten your mail, I want you to go out and get your mail right away. And if your mailbox is right by you, I want you to go out to the trash can or do something. Rather than procrastinate, I want you to practice stepping out into the discomfort immediately until it becomes second nature. Because going back to the law of principle of polarity, procrastination and getting it done are the same side of the same, are the different side of the same magnet. So when we realize that, we become Hermetic alchemists by recognizing the dual nature of this. I tend to procrastinate on the things that are most important to me. And when I catch that I procrastinate on the things that are most important to me because I'm afraid of my greatness, I will not hesitate or wait a moment, but I will dive into them immediately. That's what I want you to do, Freda, is to dive into the very thing that you're dragging your feet on so we can get to the other side of it with love, with all the love in the world. Next question.
Let's see. Christina asks, why do we sometimes wake up in a lower vibration and how can we change that?
Christina, brilliant question. And one I've been challenged with before, because Spirit loves to speak to me in dreams. Love to speak to me in dreams. And at the moment, and I'm working to change that. It was something that Paul Selig's guides were talking about this week. Paul Selig's guides were saying that here in the Earth School, we use fear as a teaching tool. And it's interesting because it interweaves with what Dr. Stephen Greer is talking about Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, when he talks about communicating with ETs and ETs, and both he's heard from ETs and remote viewing that in about 500,000 years, he says humanity on the scale of evolution from 1 to 10, humanity is at a level 0. If you've ever seen Kung Fu Panda, there is now a level 0. And in level 0, we need fear as a teacher. But in about 500,000 years from now, or it could be a lot sooner, we no longer need fear as a teacher, but we can use other tools as a teacher. But right now, until we come into agreement, as Paul Selig's guides call it, and Paul Selig's guides would say it's going to be a lot faster than that. We're talking 20, 30 years, a couple generations, somewhere in that time. We don't have to use fear because we can ascend to the upper room. But right now, the angels and guides are getting us where we are at. And so if you wake up in that lower vibration state, I want you to write down what your dream was. Write it down every single day. I want you to lean into that, see where that dread is coming from, see what you can learn from it. And then I want you to find a way each morning to shift to a higher vibrational state. Maybe that's movement. Maybe that's music. Definitely that is meditation. Cannot recommend that enough, specifically for you waking up in that lower vibrational state. Let's take the time to pause. And then going back to the principle of rhythm. Remember, everything that's down is coming back up. Everything that's up is going back down. But we can keep ascending to a higher level by, in that morning, link up with the state. Well, I was feeling really good before I was going to bed. What was I thinking about? I was feeling really good last Wednesday. I was feeling really good, Michael speaking, oh my God, when I was out paddling in a Monet painting a couple days ago. And put yourself in that state, hold on to it, and watch things fulcrum lever off of that and come back up fast and even higher. Brilliant question. Doesn't mean anything is wrong. It means everything is right.
Should we jump into meditation?
We can do that. We can certainly do that. Anything else you want me to add before we do that? I know we've got Wednesday Manifestation Mastery Circle, $1 to try link. Can you put that link down below?
The link is at the top of the chat.
The link is at the top of the chat. So you can catch the link to come join us Wednesday at the top of the chat. We will be diving into these techniques simply, easily. You won't be overwhelmed by it at all, but you're going to get a lot of goodness out of it. How does it get any better than this? This coming Wednesday.
And the questions keep coming in.
Mm-hmm.
People can ask questions in class too.
Questions,
More interactive.
yes. Class is exceptionally interactive. And I'm going back to calling it group coaching because in a sense, until it gets really big, there's a lot of one-on-one interaction with people. It's something that people have been talking about. So I'm going to be able to ask you, you're going to be able to ask your question, and it's on Zoom. So if you want, I can see you, you can see me. Of course, I guess you can see me now. Was there one last question, or let's dive into it?
It's up to you. There's a lot of questions.
There's a plethora of questions.
They're not going to end.
Okay. I respect the Pookie. And so how is the Pookie's energy level?
Well, if you want to get to sleep before midnight.
Oh, God. Which I do. I'll go with 2.
2 more questions? Okay. Fiona asks, when I meditate, I cannot build a picture of what I'm wanting to manifest. Does that matter? How do we surrender ourselves in meditation? What am I missing?
Fiona, part A, let's see if I can get all 3 of these pieces at once. Part A, you don't need to see what you want to manifest. Go to how you want it to feel. I don't know how I want it to feel. Yes, you do, Fiona. You want it to feel good? You want it to feel bad? Well, I want to feel good. Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel sad? I want to feel happy. Do you want to feel expansive? Do you want to feel contracted? I want to feel expansive. Do I want to feel rich? Do I want to feel poor? I want to feel rich. Do I want to feel alone? Do I want to feel surrounded by love and goodness? Do I want to feel alone and surrounded by bad? You get what I'm saying, Fiona. So go to the energetic state. Let the universe fill in the details. As the light starts to come to you, the more you play, this is going back to the principle of vibration. The more that you play in that vibratory state of where you want to be, suddenly the ideas start coming to you. Don't force them on your own. This is the creative process at work. That's exactly what you're doing. Good meditation, bad meditation. It is a great meditation linked up with spirit. Any meditation. But pump it up with the vibration that you desire if you're doing something for manifestation. You can just sit. Well, I guess it'd be hard to cross my legs here and be close to the camera. You can just sit and be for a little while. And that too is enough. Not everything has to be about being in a place of manifestation, because at the end of the day, if you become the mirrored pond, greatness comes to you. Last question.
Last question. Scrolling. Well,
yes.
Joel? Sorry if I pronounced that name incorrectly. Do you recommend the awe every day? Awe being the automatic writing experience, even on days when you're not feeling well, like tired, sad, worried, etc. Would it impact awe negatively?
Brilliant question, Joa. First off, if you can do it, dive into automatic. You look like you're saying something. Oh. If you can do it, I thought maybe you had something you were adding to it. If you can do it, Joa, dive into it every day without exception. It builds a stronger connection between you and spirit. Don't worry about what answers you'll get to questions on negative days. Just dive in. I find with coaching clients is a good example. And you can say that awe is your coach on the other side of the veil. With coaching clients, the time that they want to bail the most, so to speak, or they feel like, oh, I couldn't possibly speak to Michael today, is the times they needed it the most. So I would hang in there on those days. However, if you're completely exhausted, your head's against the wall and you look like you need to go to sleep, at those times, if you're so exhausted you can't do it, that's okay too. All right, let's dive into a meditation. So Joa, each and every day, that's going to be my recommendation. Or as Awe is telling me for myself, 3 times a day right now. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's dive into a meditation here. And interesting. I'm like, do I bring Rue out for a cameo? I think he's been sleeping. But if I keep him sleeping, on the other hand, he'll be up early. But I think I want to let him sleep. All right. Let's have you sit up good and tall, but relaxed. Breathe in. Sigh out. Breathe in through the nose. Sigh out. Breathe in through the nose. Sigh out. This meditation will have you keep breathing in and out. I want to put you in your own personal kayak. Something special, something safe, something that feels perfect just for you. So I want you to look out before you and you see the most amazing lake or pristine body of water. It could be the Gulf, first thing in the morning or late at night. It can be the coolest little pond, whatever body of water you desire. And there's your boat bobbing right at the edge, just waiting to carry you out into those waters. As we continue to breathe in and breathe out, let's walk on up to our boat. For barefoot, you can feel the sand between your toes. Maybe you have sandals on. It's all perfect. Let's hop into our boat. Grab our paddle. Seat is nice and comfy. And then let's just push off. The water is smooth as glass. You paddle on the right, paddle on the left. The boat cuts effortlessly through the water, like sliding along on the most perfect glass-like ice. You feel at peace. You feel at ease. Life is good. And keep paddling for a little while till you're well out into the waters. I want you to look down. Stop paddling for a minute. Allow the boat to continue forward. I want you to look down into the water. Look into the reflection of yourself. Look into your eyes. Look into the puffy clouds behind you and the blue sky up above. I want you to stare into your eyes. Even get lost in them. As you send yourself love. I love you. I love you. I love you. The first step to creating the higher vibration you is to look at thy vibration, look at that reflection, and love her or love him up with everything you've got. And now you've been staring at yourself, staring at the reflection, staring at the clouds through the reflection. Your boat has moved closer to shore, where you see the most magnificent mirror-like reflection of trees or palm trees, of land, sky, beach, or dirt. And I want you to ask yourself, without an answer, which is real? Which is the reflection? Where do I want to build my castles in the sky? If I flip this water upside down so that the reflection is up above, what do I want to see up there that is then mirrored down below? What do I wish to feel? How do I wish to be? Imagine that you could be, do, or create anything you desire in the heavens above, and that it would be perfectly reflected and manifested in this current reality, what would it be, or how would you feel? And let's feel that. Feel it up above. Feel it all around. And feel it in your heart. Do you feel light, happy, loved, supported, or free? Really bask in this feeling for another minute or two as you gently bob up and down on the most amazing mirror-like body of water. The Monet of life is exactly what you want it to be. When you take your paintbrush and you paint in the reflection in the heavens up above, at morning, at dusk, or any quiet moment you can, you, as the creator, are making the above so that it will be down below. Keep those castles in the sky. That's where they belong. And come to this sacred space, this sacred state, out onto these sacred waters, any time you desire. So when you're ready, feel free to hang out in the water as long as you'd like, or paddle back to shore. Then love yourself up and have the most amazing evening or new day ahead. Keep on shining bright. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Woohoo! You guys are awesome. I can feel the energy of each and every one of you. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome. So, can't wait to see you Wednesday if you can make it. I'm sure we'll have some Rue cameo appearances coming up soon. I'll probably let him up for a little bit so we can get a little more food before he goes back to sleep. But I don't think throwing him on camera as he's half awake going it's probably the best thing. But love you guys so much. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everyone on the Dream Team. Thank you, Lumi. Oh, you're so good. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Have the most magnificent night ahead and keep on shining bright. Woohoo! Love you guys.